to the BS. Even though we started with a lot of BS. May the 4th be with you. Star Wars holiday. Oh, man. Oh, I don't know. I stopped watching Star Wars. I was like a big Star
Yeah,
Wars guy.
I'm not as into it. I feel like they did the same thing to us they did with Marvel. It was just too much that they wanted us
Yeah.
to watch all at once, and it was like, all right, I'm burnt out now.
Yeah,
And
and
as soon as you're doing that much shit and you make one that's bad quality, I feel like that kills it.
yeah, and on top of that, like because there's so much content, you don't find patience. Like I saw the prequel. I saw the prequel to Rogue One. Rogue One's my favorite Star Wars movie ever. I know it's controversial, but it's my favorite by far.
Yet he did not know who was in it.
It's actor
Still
wise.
drives me nuts. Yeah.
I'm horrible at actors.
He had no idea how big a deal it was who was in this movie.
It's
And
all. It's
he was
true.
like, he's who? He's in that? Huh? And I'm like,
I,
yeah.
I love stories. I probably know more writers than I do actors, and not only that, but a lot of times I'm like, oh, that's Thor in Ghostbusters. Oh, that's Iron Man and that's Iron Man and as
Did you
Mr.
say
Holmes.
Thor and Ghostbusters?
Yeah, Thor was in Ghostbusters. The female Ghostbusters. Thor's in.
Oh, we don't count that one.
Oh, okay. Well, Ant-Man is in the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah, we count that one.
I haven't seen the Frozen one yet. I'm kind of excited.
I haven't seen it either. I've heard it's not the best, but I'm still excited to watch it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
because I love Ghostbusters and I know it has all the guys in it.
yeah, yeah. Oh
And that
man,
alone, as a kid that grew up with a Ghostbusters tape that I watched until it had the little white lines on it for most of the movie. You know what I'm talking about? Where
yeah, I
like
know,
you've
I
watched
know.
the VHS so much
That's
that it's almost unwatchable.
oh yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was my Ghostbusters tape.
My VHS tapes that were unwatchable were
That and Commando.
Transformers, the '86 cartoon, and
Nice.
Necessary Roughness. I
Nice.
love Necessary
Is
Roughness. Those were mine
Necessary
too.
Roughness the one with Goldie
Sinbad?
Hawn?
No, no, no. Just had Sinbad and Kathy Ireland.
Oh, okay, I need to rewatch that
Yeah, it's
then.
college. I don't know if it's good,
No,
but I
Wildcats
loved
was
it.
the one with Goldie
Yeah,
Hawn,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah. No, Necessary Roughness. I don't know. Like, it's one of those things.
Necessary Roughness had the dude from Quantum Leap, right, as the quarterback?
Yes, yes, yes. He was an old man
And was
quarterback.
that also the one that had the dude who had the steroid problem?
No, that was the program.
Oh man, I love the
The
program.
program's pretty good.
So
I
many great football college movies that came out for like
yeah.
a good chunk of time. What happened to that, man?
I don't
Where are
know.
all the great college
Well,
football movies?
the
Is
program edited out a
too many rape
scene,
scandals?
maybe, but also I think the universities charge too much. I think in the
Oh,
'90s it
that's
was
true.
easier to get universities. It's kind of like
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
I'm watching Ted Lasso now, and it's funny. Like, I'm watching it one episode per day with my missus, and I find it hilarious that year one it was like barely anything, and then the third year they're like, "Oh, we're at this giant stadium against
Yeah,
this giant team." It's
we're
like,
at
yeah,
Wembley and it's a full audience.
yeah, 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 yeah. Good times. I'm still sad that it's coming to an end. No spoilers. It's,
It is heartbreaking that it ends
uh,
just because it's over.
and not only but you love the characters so much, and the way they're writing Nate the Great, I love it. I absolutely. My
Oh
wife
yeah,
hates Nate the Great, and I'm like, this is such good writing. As a fan of writing,
that's what makes it so good is they can make you hate him.
yeah,
They
yeah,
made you hate someone that you loved as an underdog so much.
yeah.
They make you hate him so much, and you're like, oh man.
Speaking of Star Wars, obviously the people that made Ted Lasso are huge Star Wars fans. There's tons of Star Wars reference when it comes to Nate the Great. Like
Are there?
it's oh yeah, rewatch it and think, oh, Nate the Great is Darth Vader, and then go rewatch it and you're like, holy fuck, I didn't see this before. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They have a lot of Star Wars references. It's ridiculous. It's so good. But
Did
yeah.
you watch? Have you started watching the Fallout show yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. I got to. I only watch TV with my missus,
Ah,
and
shame,
she only
shame.
watches one episode a night. I
The
don't know.
Fallout show deserves a watch. They put in so much effort to being true to the game. I found out another detail. The reason why it looks so good, apparently the game studio was sent Bethesda. They were sending them files for the from the game, and they would just 3D print them and paint them and put them up on the set.
Oh,
So
that's
like
so
the
cool.
set, that's why the set, like if you see the set, it'll have like tables where like there's just like an ashtray with bullets and stuff, which is how it is in like that's how you find random junk in Fallout is you'll just find like an ashtray with random bullets next to it and stuff. And the hacking thing was the same mini game as what's in the game. Everything. Like so many little details.
Uh, I don't know. I just watched Godzilla Zero One.
I need to watch that.
Negative.
Minus
Oh
one.
my god, it's insanely good. Like you're crying good. It is
I need to watch it. I've heard good
so good.
things.
But here's the thing. What you were describing, I loved Godzilla, minus one, because I love when people make movies and respect the IP. Like,
Mhm.
if you're a huge Godzilla nerd, they never disrespect the IP. Because it's kind of, it's kind of its own little universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So we don't know how it connects. It doesn't connect. It's its own little universe. And
that's cool.
dude, they just respect the IP so much. And that's what I like from now on, respecting the IP or creating your own IP is going to have so much value in my eyes. I'm just tired of watching
I
shit
think
and
it's
it doesn't respect the IP.
you have to wonder if it's going to hit the point where now Hollywood's going to realize like, hey, look at how much the fans loved Fallout. Look at how much fans loved Mario. Look at how much fans loved Last of Us. What did you have in common with all of these? They were all considered very true to the games.
If I could just add one more, sir, One Piece. One Piece is really popular, and they're like
Yeah, but that's
shot for
not a
shot.
video game.
Oh, that's true.
That's an
Okay, okay.
anime.
Sorry. So I was just
All
going to
right,
talking IP.
listen.
I was
Yeah,
talking
no, no,
IP.
no.
You were
I'm
talking video
talking.
games.
I'm talking video game IPs because video games have been fucked up for too long.
hundred
We've
percent.
gotten so many bad video game movies over the years and shows. To actually be getting good ones is incredible, and I hope it continues. That this is the wake up call that the industry is needed to. Hey, stop just buying the IPs and then butchering them. Instead, take into account that hey, there are some really incredible stories out there in games that you guys haven't tapped into at all, and even better, they're already in a visual format for you to steal from. You got to do zero creative work. They already did it all for you.
Yeah. 100%. But yeah, people smarter than me, people that follow Hollywood and follow entertainment, think
Yeah.
that superheroes are gonna slowly die off and it's gonna be replaced by video games. Like they think video game movies
Yeah.
are the next boom, which I think.
I think so too.
Well, the good thing about the video game boom that they have an advantage over the superhero boom is that there's more genres.
And there's more IP, more licensing tie-ins.
That's
They
true.
can sell video games like Fallout video games. Massive resurgence in popularity after the TV show.
Oh, same thing with The Last of Us. The Last of Us sold
Yeah,
a
like
ton of copies
I mean,
after.
I can't remember the exact percentage. I believe it was 370% increase over its previous peak for Fallout 76 on Steam
Oh, that's
for its
awesome.
previous peak. That's how much higher it is now for after the TV show. So that's huge. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. No, and it's good. It's a thing happened before with books back in the day. Like a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of a
when
lot
people
of
used to read.
movies. A lot of movies used to be based off books. I mean, some still are, but that was like that was like
That was the thing for
yeah,
a
yeah.
while.
And then if
That's
you
where Stephen King got so big.
yeah, and then it would just it would just always pop sales. You're like, okay, cool, cool. Because I'm kind of like that. Like I'm a big fan
I
of
mean,
John Green, but I haven't read Turtles all the way down. And the fact that the movie's out, I'm like, all right, I'll go read the book. Where I probably wouldn't have read that book otherwise.
there are books that I went and read the books because I didn't want to wait for the sequel movies.
Yeah.
Like I saw the movie and then I didn't want to wait for the sequel, so I read the books.
Well, I've told this story a bunch because like when I go on like writing interviews, I became a reader at a very young age because Stephen King was very popular, and I
It's
could not
shocking.
afford. I couldn't afford. I do. I get mocked all the time in writing circles. I love Stephen King, but I couldn't afford to go to the movie theaters. So I'd go to the library and read it as fast as I could and pretend I saw the movie. It's kind of fucked up, but Sometimes you lied when you were kids.
The thing about Stephen King is he wasn't a bad writer. He's not a bad writer. He just
I
can't
love.
write endings,
Uh,
and he's weird.
yeah. Stephen King is the reason why I'm a writer. Stephen King is the reason why I'm a reader. But at the same time, he does get
His
bashed a
endings
lot.
suck.
I think some of them are good. I think some of them are
Very
fucking
few.
garbage. And I think
Very few.
sometimes it works out. I thought Under the Dome gets a lot of shit. I think Under the Dome's ending's pretty good. Dude,
Plus,
but
there's the whole thing for bit.
my favorite book of his is the date book. Not about dating, but the day Kennedy died. I think that's the perfect Stephen King
1984.
novel. Not 1984.
Whatever it
no,
was.
Whatever the date. Let it be known, I have a minor in history. I have a minor
I
in
know
history.
the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it's the date Kennedy died.
He's a teacher, guys. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm a streamer.
He's a streamer. I'm a teacher, but I'm a teacher with a minor in history.
He's supposed to know.
Concussions, they're great. I still find it hilarious that I have a minor in history and then I have memory problems thanks to concussions. If there is a God, he's got a sense of humor, or she's got a sense of humor.
They think it's hilarious.
Yeah, they're like, ha ha ha, he's got a degree in history and can't remember shit because of concussions. Get it? Like if it's the Greek
No,
gods.
but see, the joke is he can't remember it. Do you see?
So it's either God laughing with a bunch of angels or a bunch of Greek gods high-fiving. They're like, we got him. We fucking got him, boys. But yeah. Oh, man. I got to get back into reading and writing more. Like,
yeah.
I noticed one thing. I miss streaming with all my heart, but I noticed I had a lot more hobbies when I wasn't streaming 14 hours a day. So, what, you stream a lot. Do you have time to read?
No, but I also hate reading.
Oh, okay.
So I used to love reading, but I hate reading now.
Is there like a bad influence, or just like you're like,
it's an OCD thing?
Oh, got it. Yeah.
I keep rereading the same chapters over and over because I can't. My brain, I feel like I haven't perfectly digested them, so I will reread them over and over and over. So I can't read books.
So
it started a few years ago. I can't read books at all anymore.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's infuriating.
I always do something like, if a chapter ends, I like put the book down on my chest and I close my eyes and I picture what happened in that chapter, and then before I start the next chapter, in my head and sometimes out loud, I go, previously on this book. So like, I guess maybe I'm TV broken, but like, I do take a break, unless it's a shit book. If it's a shit book, I'm zipping through it. But if it's a good book, I like to like take a break, put the book on my chest, and like just fucking legit think about what happened the last chapter. I don't know if that's weird, but that's what I do. Unless it's a shit book, then I'm just like, gotta get through the ends. Yeah,
I get that. I haven't done that in a long time. Have you ever read World War Z?
Yes, I have.
I love that book.
I heard it's nothing. The movie's nothing like it, so I never watched the movie.
The movie is dog shit. Well, okay, if you watch the movie as a zombie movie and pretend it's not World War Z, it's not bad. If you watch it as World War Z, it's awful, and you're like, what does this have to do with the book?
Got it. Yeah, that's what I heard. But yeah,
the book would have made the perfect format as a short TV series.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because it's all set up already as scenes.
But you can't get Tom Cruise on television.
I mean, you don't need Tom. Well, it wasn't Tom Cruise. It was Brad Pitt. You don't need Brad Pitt, though.
Dude, I am so bad with actors. Back onto that point.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is the short one.
Got it. I don't know if I've ever told a story on the podcast, but I tell this story all the time. That I almost met Tom Cruise. And like, so me and my friends went to go see one of the Mission Impossibles, and Tom Cruise is very famous in Japan. I'm sure he's famous in America, but he's like godlike in Japan.
Yeah, he's pretty famous in here.
And in Japan, they used to. Now that after,
is it because he's smaller than you guys?
Possibility. I don't know. I never asked. But he's very. I think it's because The Last Samurai. I think that's why he's beloved. And well, you know, before the pandemic, opening nights were a big deal in Japan. Like people would just pay lots of money to go opening nights. You'd get cool gifts, and sometimes you'd meet an actor or a writer or director. And I used to always go on opening nights, but it went from a huge event to here's a folder. So I stopped going to opening nights. But when me and my friends, we went to opening night for Mission Impossible. I don't know. There's a lot of them. I don't know which one it was. And someone goes, "Do you want to meet Tom Cruise?" And I was like, I guess, I don't know. Unless you're a pro wrestler or athlete, I don't give a shit about meeting you. But my friends really cared. And I was like, all right, we'll wait in line. And, eventually they stopped the line before you can meet the guy. I was the guy they stopped the line at. And I wonder, does Tom Cruise ever look in the night sky and go, I almost met Dave Koco?
I bet he does.
I think so. I think he's like, dude, I almost met that fat fucking gaijin in Japan. I almost met him. But then my security guy, like, do you
Really,
think he yelled
told
at the
him to
security
stop the line because there was a white guy.
Possibility. He's like that.
He was like, stop the line at the next white guy.
Dude, the funny thing is, my Japanese friends did get to see him. So
Yep,
this might be factual.
Stop it at the next white guy. That's where we're gonna end this. And they're like, what? There is a white guy 12 people back, and he's like, perfect. That's enough. Last 12 then. What's he gonna do? Complain about it to the Japanese papers? And then his assistant laughs, and he's like, yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I mean, that's what probably happened, but I'd like to believe like he yelled at the guard in the back, like, I almost met Dave Koco. You fucked it up. It's not true, but yeah. All right. So I almost met Tom Cruise. Is there anyone you almost met? Leave it in the comments. Check out SidsLight on everything at SidsLight. Make sure to check him out. He's streaming all the time. I'm at KocoSports Everything. Behind the scenes, we are working on a blog. We hope it's gonna do good. I know it's not the hottest topic in the world, but we're working on it and excited about it. And like, comment, subscribe. Sid, any last words?
Hope you guys are having a good night.
With that, I am over. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, ba-dum,
Hey.
bum, bum, bum. Whoa.